So, as I've already said that we are starting an introduction to JavaScript, and it was supposed to be done on November 5, but it's due to some inconveniences. We are doing it today on 10th November. So here is what we are going to discuss today. We are going to discuss about introduction to JavaScript. We are going operators, and this is what we are supposed to cover today. I hope you are hearing me, you all.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
I get you, sir.
Okay, okay. So, okay. So to begin with, what is a JavaScript? A JavaScript is a scripting language primarily used to create a dynamic content on websites like interactive forms, animations, real-time updates, and more. Um, when we say scripting language, it's just a matter of instructions to automate things or to automate tasks instead of manually doing them. So like you automate. So we are saying that a JavaScript is a scripting language primarily used to create what dynamic content on websites like interactive forms, animation, real-time updates, and more. You bear me witness that the time when you are doing HTML, CSS, you are just creating websites, maybe with buttons, but maybe those buttons were unclickable. So to make those buttons clickable is when JavaScript comes in, so that you can, when you click, something comes up. That's where JavaScript is coming from. So we say it runs client side, client side, meaning it executes directly in the user's browser rather than on the server. That is, when you open a web page on your browser, JavaScript can run on your web page. Like when there is a button, when you click that button, uh, your JavaScript, you can see the output, or you can see the after clicking the button, you can see what comes up after that click. After that click, because JavaScript runs on the client side, it doesn't run on the server. It runs on the client side. Like it automatically runs. It doesn't require for you to start the page, like to restart or to refresh something like that. It will automatically executes on the uh, server. I mean on the client side. I don't know whether I'm right or maybe I'm doing it slow. You can tell me because maybe I'm rushing or not. Or you're hearing me like you're hearing very well.
Of course.
Okay, so I'm continuing with this introduction. Um, I hope you're able to see my this PDF like I've shared on my screen there. Hello?
Yes, we are able to see it.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. So let's continue. Um, what JavaScript can do, JavaScript can manipulate HTML and CSS. That is, respond to user events and communicate with the server via APIs. This is what JavaScript can do. It manipulates. If we say manipulate, that is to change. It changes HTML and CSS, like the way you were doing with HTML and CSS. The web pages you were creating. JavaScript can manipulate those pages like something else, like maybe like what I've already said is something of a button. You created a button in HTML and CSS. You style it very well. You created the button very well. So JavaScript can manipulate that button like to show up something, to pop up something. That's what we are saying, that JavaScript can do that. Like can manipulate HTML and CSS. So let's see how browser understand JavaScript. How browser understand JavaScript. So we got modern browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Safari, and Microsoft Edge. They got built-in JavaScript engines. Uh, these engines interpret and execute JavaScript code efficiently. Here's the process, how they execute that JavaScript code of this modern browsers. Firstly, like parsing, I don't know others how can they pronounce it. But that's the way I do pronounce. Pronunciation may vary. So parsing, the browser reads the JavaScript code and converts it into an internal representation. Then it interprets. JavaScript is like an object-oriented language, though it's not languages like maybe Java and the C++ and the like programming languages. This is a scripting language. It's not a programming language, but still, it's it's a an interpreted language. We don't compile JavaScript. I hope you do understand about the compilation and interpretation, how they differ. That is, we are saying that JavaScript was interpreted by line by line, meaning the browser would read and execute each line directly. This is what happens in interpretation than compilation. Because we say in compilation, the whole code is executed at once, whilst in interpretation, we execute a line of code, line by line. So, as I've already said, that JavaScript is one of the object-oriented languages that we do interpret rather than compiling. So then we got the JIT compilation, that is just-in-time compilation. So today's engines like Chrome version 8 or Firefox, SpiderMonkey, use just-in-time compilation. This means JavaScript is first converted into bytecode. Then at runtime, the bytecode is compiled into machine code for faster execution. Like the code, the JavaScript code is first converted to a bytecode, like should I say medium version, or like I don't know which language can I use, but like something like a medium version that is there, so that when learning, it should not take much time, like going to execute line by line. But first, it converts it to bytecode so that it can execute in no time, like in some minutes, like few minutes, something like that. So then last, that is the execution context. So JavaScript runs in the browser's execution context, which includes the global window object, then document object module, and the other APIs like console, document, and the logo storage. I'm sorry, I've shared my whole screen, so I can't see when I go to the to the PDF. I can't see the core area, so maybe you can be raising hands. I cannot see, so I think I have to reshare my screen so that I can be able to see if anyone has raised their hand or not. Anyway, let's just continue. I'll be just sharing the entire screen as I did before. Let's continue. Let's continue to something else. So this is the process which I was explaining. This is how web browsers understands or executes JavaScript code. So let's understand JavaScript as maybe which this is a recipe in a kitchen. So JavaScript code is like a recipe instruction. That is the let's think of JavaScript as a recipe written in a cookbook. It tells the browser is now the chef what to do. So we are saying that JavaScript is the one that tells the browser what to do. When there is a button, so the JavaScript code tells the browser to to pop up a message about what that button has been clicked. So that is so. Then passing the browser that is the chef reads the recipe to understand what ingredients and what and steps are involved. So that's what we're saying. The browser do executes the JavaScript code. Then JD compilation, the one that we create a byte code that is prepping efficiently. But instead of cooking line by line, the chef preps ingredients in advance and uses shortcuts to speed things up, like chopping all the veggies before turning on the stove. That is, we are saying a byte code is like a medium version of a code that is fasten up execution. Instead of interpreting line by line, the code is interpreted into a byte code or is converted to into a byte code. So in this kitchen scenario, we are saying that it's like the chef has already done the preparations, like chopping up the vegetables, something like that, so that when turning on the stove, should not wait sometimes chopping the vegetables, but instead just taking the vegetables and putting the one in the pot. Then execution, whereby the cooking the dish, the chef follows the optimized plan and saves the dish that is running the code quickly and efficiently. I don't know if I am learning or if there is a question or based on what I've maybe shared. Hello? Can you hear me? Yes, I can see. Okay, fine. Then I'm continuing. This is an example action. So what we have explained above, here's the like an example. So we got a button here, whereby I know you already know how to write a button in HTML. So this is the button. So we are declaring an action that is on click. When you click the button, what should happen? That is we should greet user. Then this is the press hold of the button, that is click me button. So uh, actually I think we'll talk about this when we go down. JavaScript code are written in scripts tag. I think maybe you read about this when maybe when they talked about something about JavaScript. I don't know whether they talked about that or not. But actually, JavaScript codes are written in scripts tags. So here we got a button that is in HTML. Then we got a function here, greet user. Function is a JavaScript function whereby is the one we have declared. We have declared the function in scripts tags, whereby this function will alert hello campus. It will alert hello campus. So this is what actually happens when we say about JavaScript. So as we had buttons in HTML and CSS, here in JavaScript manipulates that button. It is manipulating that button, which actually ordinarily it has just click me. But here you'll be able, when you click the button, you'll be able to see this pop-up of Hello Campus, something like that. Maybe I should just maybe show this. Should just show this. Oh shit! I've done already. Are you able to see my code? Hello? Okay. Thanks. So here is the code. We got a button whereby on click it will execute this function, greet user. So as I've already said that JavaScript code is written in scripts tags in inside HTML. This is one method. Rather, we'll go about this how we integrate HTML and the JavaScript. But this is the one of the method like internal JavaScript in HTML. Internal JavaScript, it's written in scripts code. So if I go to my file, that is sample one. When I run this, you see the button here, click me. When I click this button, you see a pop-up, an alert comes. Hello, welcome to our website. So this is what the actually JavaScript do to an HTML file. So let's get back to what we are discussing. I hope you have seen the example clearly. Hello. Oh, thanks. At least I'll be requiring. Oh, okay. Ask. Yes, yeah. Yes, I'm listening. Can you talk?
Pardon about that example.
You want to ask about that example? Okay, can you continue?
I've
Hello?
said that I've not understood. I've not understood well.
You have not understood well. Okay.
Yeah.
As I've already said, that we'll talk about a lot when we go up the slide. Because this is just an example. I was just saying, I mean, like I was just saying, Guti, here is the button. I hope you learned how to declare a button in the HTML, like tags, button tags. I hope you learned them, right? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
hope you know how to declare a button in HTML. You were taught about this.
Yes.
I hope
Yes,
so.
of course.
So here is a button. I've only added this on click here. This part is what I've added. I hope the rest you know it. That is the button. Then we got all tags, that opening tags and closing tags. So this is the press holder. Click me. Here's click me. I hope you know about this. So here on click, we're just trying to declare an action. An action when someone clicks the button, what should happen? Like we are trying to manipulate a button written in HTML. So as I've already said that the language that we use to manipulate an HTML, it's JavaScript. JavaScript manipulates pure HTML or CSS. So here, this action on click is just trying to manipulate this button so that when it is clicked, something should be shown. So what should be shown? On click, we have just we want this function to be executed, of which this function is a JavaScript function. We have written this function in JavaScript. So as I've already said that there are several methods of declaring or integrating JavaScript with HTML. The first method is the internal JavaScript. I hope learned about how to integrate CSS and HTML, whereby you got you had the inner HTML, inner CSS, external CSS, and the internal CSS. So it's the same way with JavaScript. We have internal, inner, and the external JavaScript. So this example, I've just tried to use an internal JavaScript, whereby I said JavaScript code internally in the HTML, we put it in the script code, script tags. So here are script tags. Here is just a function. So actually, when declaring a function in JavaScript, we started the keyword function. Function, then function name, greet user. Then here we got the this alert. We will talk about this when we go behind the this slide. This is the way to show output in JavaScript. We've got several methods of showing outputs. This is one way of that. So don't mind about this. Just understand the what I'm trying to say. That JavaScript manipulates HTML. How it manipulates? Like we have a pure button, but we are trying to show something when we click that button. That's what I'm trying to say. Just understand that terminology. Don't mind about this code. We'll understand this code as we go below. I hope now you have understood.
Yes, I'm understanding.
Jerome. Okay,
Yes.
thanks. Let's continue with the slide. Let's continue. So here I was just saying that was the an example. So when the user clicks the button, the browser engine interprets the grid user function and shows an alert. So the browser doesn't need to reload the page, but JavaScript handles the interaction instantly. As you have seen here, once I've run that, I've run my file. That is the file of an HTML. When I click the button, the browser did not. I was not supposed to restart the browser, but automatically the alert was shown. A pop-up message was seen, whereby it say "Welcome to my website," something like that. So here there is something about using browser console in JavaScript. You know, I don't know, maybe during an introduction about maybe internet or computer, something like that. Maybe I don't know whether you were taught about browser console. I don't know, but you can just a little bit talk about this, whereby you are saying the browser console is the powerful tool for writing, testing, and debugging JavaScript directly in the browser. We're trying to say each and every browser has got a console whereby you can write code and debug syntax and something a lot. So you can access it via developer tools and use it to like the page document object model, like log messages and line scripts in real time. So I just want to show you what is this console, browser console. Here, I'll click a new tab. So in your browser, just right click anywhere in your browser. Just do right click. When you right click in your browser on a new tab, you will see something like inspect. We got this, all these ones. Then you at the end you got this one, inspect. So when you click inspect, you may see these developer tools. You got the elements, console, sources, and network, which you just analyze your network where it's efficient or something like that. So in this course, we are trying to talk about console. We are not really minding about the other features of this developer console. I mean developer tool, but we are just focusing on this console. Here is the console where you can write your codes. For example, let's write the button button like this. So as I've written that button, let's try like not to complete that button and just hitting enter. You may see this error and code syntax error and expect okay. This means uh, this button is incomplete because as you already know, when we have button tags, we need to have closing tags as well, like this. you see we got an error like I haven't closed the tag here. I think, yeah, this is not the way we close the button. Yes, I've written improve syntax. Here you can see I've not written the syntax well. So let's write the syntax well, like here, mean like button here button, then click me, then here is how we close the button like this. I think we do have a terminator that is a statement terminator that is it a semicolon, right? If I'm not mistaken, we've got a terminator like a semicolon, yeah, click me. As you can see here, we got that error. Uh, I'm sorry. Just give me a moment. Just give me a moment.
So you have mute your mic. Sir, you have mute your mic.
So please, we can't get you.
I'm sorry, I muted my mic before. I'm sorry, I'm totally sorry. I forgot when I stopped sharing that screen in the. Oh, I'm sorry. You might forgive about that. Then I'll just quickly get back to the developer console. Here, I was saying, um, you just right click, then go on inspect here, then you write on this developer tools, you just go on console. On console, you just write your code like as the one I showed though I was not held because I muted my mic accidentally. I'm sorry about that. Like here the button, click me. Here the syntax is not complete. When I hit enter, I'll have this error, unquote error, syntax error, unexpected token. Like the console or the editor is expecting something to come after me, like a closing tag. That's what I was saying, that it's waiting for a closing tag. Like the syntax is not complete, as you learned in HTML, that when you declare a button, you have to have a closing tag on the button. It's not it doesn't close itself like other tags that they close themselves. But the other tags that we don't write both opening tags and the closing tags. We use the one tag, but button is not the one of them. So I used another example, like in JavaScript, of writing a function like this. Function, then function name, greet user. Greet user, like that. Yeah. Open and close curly braces. Then when you hit enter, you may see no any syntax error, only is undefined. I've not written anything in this function. Like it's expecting in this curly braces to have a code to be executed. Like what this function will be doing. What will this function return? Like the one we used in the previous example on greet user. We let the user like to write a message, like a welcome message. So that's why maybe this is curly braces is waiting for. But actually the syntax is just fine and perfect. It's just perfect than the first syntax of the button. But this syntax is just perfect. That's what I was trying to say about developer console. I was saying that using this developer console, you can test your code before you go to your editors and write them in your code base. Like before you develop anything, you can come to develop tools like this console and test the for errors, or you inspect that your code in this developer tool console. That's what I was trying to say. I'm sorry for the for what I've done, that I muted my mic. I hope now you have understood what I was trying to say about console. Okay. Thanks, Dave. Yeah, thanks. I think I can continue the slide. I'm sorry for maybe I've eaten much of your time because of the mic I muted. So I'm sorry about that. I'm forgive me. So this things is just what we can do using the console. So this is an exercise of which I've already done. Like you can write this. You try these things at your own time, like console log, hello Bisora, something like that, or you just you declare a variable like this one, score, something like that. So we will talk about this console log, this rate and document, what all this would talk as we go down the slide, because these are keywords in JavaScript. The others are for declaring a variable, others are for showing output, something like that. So we'll talk about that. I've already talked about a function. Like when you want to declare, when you want to define a function in JavaScript, you start with a keyword function. A keyword function, then function name. Here it's a parameter name. You can put parameters here. Yeah. So that is about function. But you will learn more about functions in the next sessions. Yeah, you learn about this when other tutors come. You learn about function, but here is just a matter of just showing you how we declare the function. So that is the syntax of declaring a function in JavaScript. So as I said earlier, that how do we integrate the HTML and JavaScript? So the first one is here, inline JavaScript. Inline, that is the like the one here. I use the button, like this one button. Button click. Let me just quickly. You can see this is a JavaScript code. Alert, this is a JavaScript code. No need to write those script tags. You just write directly the JavaScript code in line with our HTML statement. So let me just quickly write that one. I would read this script. I'll just read this script. Then on here, I'll remove this function. I'll remove this function. Rather, I'll write alert. Alert. Like button clicked. Button clicked. Then I'm saving this. Sorry, I'm not using live saver. Like I'm not. My code is not automatically refreshing. So I'll be just opening my file. Then when I do this, when I click, you may see button clicked. Button clicked. So we have written the JavaScript code in line with our HTML code. So that's what we call an inline JavaScript. So that's the first method. We integrate JavaScript and the HTML. What are the importance? It's just the first for small tasks or demonstration, like the one I've done already. For demonstrating, it's just quite good and fine, but it's hard to maintain, and this one is not recommended for large projects. You know, you may have big projects, or maybe you have maybe like to JavaScript statement. So it will be very difficult for you when you have an error to inspect that error clearly, or if you want to maintain that code, it will be very difficult. So this one is not recommended, and I too am not recommending you to use an inline JavaScript. But for small tasks, yes, you can. That's perfect and fine. Like this one, you want just to read this message. No need to write script tag. What? It will be a waste of time. Since this is just a simple statement, you can just write this statement, then you are good to go. Other than like writing script tag, then writing functions, something like that, it will take you much of your time. But if you are writing small tasks, here is the best way. You can use this inline JavaScript, which is quick and direct. Then we got the internal JavaScript, like the one which I used. This one, like this one, you got a script tag here where you've declared the function and the you have coded this function. Here you have coded the function. You have coded function on this action. You've coded the function which you have defined here under script tag, which is a JavaScript, inline JavaScript. So as we say, it's an internal, an internal JavaScript. This is an internal JavaScript, which is it's important. It's just it keeps logic centralized in one file. So you don't need to have too many files, like 2 to 3 files. That will be just a waste of time. Yeah. But you just write the script tag, then you write your JavaScript code. But script codes. So it would be very difficult, as well as we said, on the inline JavaScript. It will just clutter the HTML code. You'll be confused. It will be just your code. It will just be like a mess. So this one also, it's not actually recommended, but for small tasks, as we said, on the inline JavaScript, is fine. And if you don't want maybe to write so many files, you can just write one file, so you can use this one. But actually, not much recommended, since it will just clutter your HTML code. So we got this one of external JavaScript. So this is the best practice. You need to have a separate file. So actually, an extension for JavaScript is JS. JS, that's an extension for JavaScript. I've forgotten the other extension of JavaScript. I think it's JSX. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think another extension is JSX. But let's don't mind about that. The extension is JS. JS. This is an extension for JavaScript. So you write your HTML code separately to your JavaScript file. You write them separately. I would like to show that, but before maybe I go to show that the external JavaScript there, I should do here if maybe we are together or I'm just myself on the board. Questions if you or if you have understood what I've said about how to integrate JavaScript and HTML. Have you understood? Because it's the same way as CSS and HTML. Yeah, thanks, Faith. Yeah. I hope others you have understood too. Okay, thanks. So that's about that. So let's see. Let's have an example. Here, what do we do? First of all, inside our header, in head, we write the source of our JavaScript script tag, then we write source like that. Then the name of the file. So for example, I'll use maybe what should I use? Sample.js. Should be sample3.js, something like that. Then I close the tags, something like that. Yeah. So then on here on click, we are going to remove this inline JavaScript, and rather we will put a function like greet user, something like this. Yeah, something like this. Then we save this file. Then let me remove these other files. Yeah. So let me open a new file. Then I should select language, that is JavaScript. JavaScripting. Yeah. So here I'll just go function greet user, greet user, something like this. Then yeah, I let hello user. Let just use this one. So I also save this file. Let me save as in sample3, sample3. Yeah, that is. So I save this file. So let's go to our sample1 HTML file. So you may see that here, when you see here, this link, it is prompting you to follow the link. So when you follow this link, it will take you to this JavaScript code here, this JavaScript code. So the code is the function alert hello user. So I've saved it already. Then let me just go and open my sample1 here. Here's the button. When I click the button here, hello user. So that's how we write an external JavaScript and integrating it with HTML. That's about that. I don't know if there are questions about that, or if you have understood how we write an external JavaScript. Have you seen how I've demonstrated an external JavaScript? Hello? Are we together? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, as I've said that I've shown an example of an external JavaScript. So you said you have understood. Then we are continuing with our slide, the one that I'm using. Yeah. So the policy that is the clean separation of concerns, like separation of concerns that each file should have should do exactly each things. Like a JavaScript file should be a JavaScript file, an HTML file should be an HTML file, something like that. CSS file, CSS file. So that's simple, and it is good. You can reuse the file. Like for example, maybe you want to edit the same message in another HTML file. You don't write the same thing, the same function. You don't use the same function. You can just go and write the like the way we have written. You are just going to the other file and just write the source. So actually, and calling the function, and it do the same thing as it has done already in this file. So that's what actually you can do. So you can use the same file. This file, you can use this file in so many other HTML files or other files. You can just use the same thing. So that's about that. So we are continuing. So I've already shown an example about this example in action. I hope you have seen already. So we're not taking much time about that. Another thing is about the indentation and white space in JavaScript. This is just a matter of best practices. These are the ones like here. You can see my code, the way it has been written. Like this auto-generated uh, code, HTML code syntax, like framework of HTML. You may see that this metadata, under header and under the head tags, they are just one tab from the margin, that is left line. So that's about indenting, something like that. So about white space is just a matter of just giving a space, a certain space here, yeah, so that you'll be able to see each one, each file. I mean, each line, each sentence should be on like its own, like you should be clearly seen, like this one, as you can see, something like this. You just put these white spaces and these indentations. Actually, these things does not affect our code, like indentation and the white spaces. They don't affect our codes, but actually their importance is here. like shows the highlight of code, what belongs inside loops, conditions, function, and etc. It shows exactly like the way I've written the function here in JavaScript. You may see that here, when if I started this array below the function, it would look like a mess. It would have not looked well. But here you can see it is looking very well because we have indented the second line where we have our return of this function, like statement, this sentence overrating the user, something like that. So that's the first importance. The other one, that's team readability. Like you want to write your code and someone else you want to see your code. Like maybe a friend wants to see what you have written. So it's very easy to read since you have put the spaces and you have intended it very well. So it will be very easy for them to read your code. And the debugging is it will be very easy for you to debug your code since it will be clearly seen to you. So it's very easy to identify where the error is. So these are just the common indentation practices. You read about them when I send this PDF. You read about them. So we cannot talk much about this because it's something like it's very simple. You understand it very well. So this is an example, something like that. Yeah. So it's something like white spaces, like tabs, blank lines, things like this. I've talked about this already. I've talked about it like this one. This spaces, these white lines, blank lines. I mean, that's a matter of making the code readable. To make the code readable. So a semicolon is just a terminator. You know about this in other programming languages. You have heard about this. You at the end of a statement you put this one. So it's the best practices to use semicolon consistently. Yeah, where actually is necessary. Like in JavaScript, when you write a statement, you need to add a semicolon. For example, here you have seen my message. This sentence, alert hello user. Here there is a semicolon. So this is the best practice. If I mess up and you remove this one, then I'll be having errors if I run the code. And this you can see my editor is suggesting me that I need a semicolon there, something like that. So a semicolon actually there is needed. So that's also another best practices. So we got the other things like comments here, code comments. I know you have done this in other languages like like HTML, CSS. I think maybe you are taught something about comments. So it's a matter of trying to make your code understandable to someone else who is reading it, so that can understand what each line is doing. So we got a single line comment like here, one sentence like this one. That is this greet the user like consultant log, something like this. So this one actually is just a one line comment. So you can have, if you have multiple comments, you can use this one as you did before in other languages. You can use this forward slash, then asterisk, then you write your comment, then another asterisk, then another forward slash. That's what that's how we write a multiple line comment in JavaScript. Yeah, something like that. The document is requiring us to do a class exercise like to clean this code, like instruction, clean up the code. So we got this code, like they want us to clean, like you have to have good indents and we have to write comments where necessary. Here we got a function, we have to write what this function is. And almost each and every line, when you are here, we're declaring a variable, there is a loop here. So like, oh, like this. I don't know if it will be fine if I do that, or you get it, like how we do write comments, like how we indent our code and how we skip black lines, like to make our code readable. Is there anything that we can do like that? Like should we actually do the practice. Like, I mean, should we do that exercise that is in the PDF for clarity's sake, or you have understood what I've said?
Let's do that exercise.
We should do the exercise. Okay, okay, thanks. So, first of all, I'll just go and copy the code. I should not take much time like doing this. Yeah, so I'll just copy the code, then go to my editor. I'll just write the code behind this one. Yeah, so I'll paste the code here. So as you can see, here, I already like what should I say? I inserted an extension for Prettier. I hope maybe you were told about this one Prettier, that helps you to clean up your code, like things like these ones. So first of all, here you got a function here. So we need to write a comment on this. We need to write a comment. Yeah, so the comment maybe can be let's here a single line comment. Like it has given me this a suggestion sample 3 JavaScript, but rather let's like these functions. This function, what is the function doing? It's showing this message like hello guest, which here's the name of the guest. When you if there is a name here, if you have inserted a name, then or when you learn this code, it will show the name hello, like for example like Kelvin, it show that name hello Kelvin. So if there is no name here on this function, then it will just show what? It will just show hello guest, something like this. So this function greets the user by name as a guest. We have commented it like that. So yeah, actually we have commented that function. Here we are going to comment this. Here we are prompting user for their name, to enter their name. Actually, we are going to talk about this one because this is how we prompt user to enter something in JavaScript. That's how we take user inputs. How we take user inputs in JavaScript. We use the prompt keyword to take user inputs. So here, that's the thing. So as I've already said about indentation, then this one should be here somewhere like this. Yeah, should be somewhere like this. I think. Yeah, I think I'm right. Just 2 to 3 spaces. Then we got another one here. We need to comment on this as well. Here is a for each loop. So just a demonstration this of this for loop. Yeah. Yeah, actually, I hope this is clean now. Can you see the code? Are you able to see the code? Hello? Okay, thanks. Okay, thanks. Okay, thanks. So you can see we have written the comments in this uh, code we have cleaned it up so that when someone comes when he or she sees this message, this function greets the user by name or as a guest. So he or she will have a clear picture of what you are trying to do in this function. He will have that picture, as well as here prompting the user for their name and greet them. So the one who is reading will know what is happening here. Since when you just say let username is equal to prompt, what is your username? It will be something else to them. Maybe they don't know what this prompt means. So when you write the comments, it will be very easy for them to know what is happening. So they will know that it's requiring user input. The user has to enter something like a name, something like that. Here we are just demonstrating project. It's a for each loop. Here's a for each loop. So we have commented this one that we are trying to to demonstrate this one for each group, yeah, something like that. I hope it's clear about comments. About comments, I hope it's clear, right? Is it clear about the comments? Have you understood? Okay, thanks. So let's rush. Time is going up. Let's go above. So a prompt function actually it asks for the user input. That is, it opens a dialog box asking the user for input. Then it returns the input as a string. Can be used to correct numbers, names, and traces. But on this, on how to correct the numbers here, like maybe integers, something like that, we'll talk about data types behind. But we're just trying to talk about this prompt function. A prompt function, it asks the user, it pops up and asking the user to enter something. I got a certain code. Let me just learn that one to see how it prompts the user. I got this sample, if I'm not mistaken. Not this one as such. This example. Yeah, so this is how a prompt is used. Like it prompts the user to enter something. Like here, enter the test number, something like this. It prompts user like this. So that is about that. So I'm canceling this, yeah, right away. Yeah, so that's about prompt function. Prompt function, that's what it does. It asks the user to enter something. Like here we have said let username equals prompt what username. So like here this is the text that will be shown like in the browser. So let me just use this one. Yeah, let me just use this one. Use this example for your sake to understand what actually happened. Copy this and I'll come to my code somewhere here. Like here, I'll delete this code. I don't need this code anymore. We have done using it. So I've already written something there in I mean I've already talked about reusing an external file. So I'll just write here let username username uh, equals then greet username. So I'll call actually here yeah. Let username equals, let me see here. Yeah. Okay, let's just make it simple. I'll just write this in the greet function. Greet user Oh, I mean, we should start with the keyword function. I forgot. Greet user. Then have write like this. So yeah, like here we have initialize the variable, that is the variable name, to prompt enter your name, then I'll let hero plus name, something like this. So I'll save this, then I'll go and run the sample one. When I click this, it says enter your name. So let me write Kelvin, something like this. Then click OK. So you can see, hello Kelvin, welcome to our website, something like this. So that's how we use a prompt. I hope you have seen the code. Here's the code. This is the function, prompt function. And the parentheses, you write what you the placeholder of the prompt, like what should be seen. Because if I just if I remove this one, like if I remove all this, like if I remove these ones and save, it will just actually, I am hopeful that it will just show me the prompt. So you can see this page says I have to enter something like this, Calvin. Then it's a hello Kevin, welcome to our website. You see, so inside this parentheses is where you write your placeholder, like this one, please enter your name, something like this. Yeah, something like that. When I save and run this code and click the button, so please enter your name, that's how it is showing. Yeah, so that's how we use a prompt function. Have you understood about the prompt function? Have you understood how we use a prompt function? Yeah, actually the prompt function, we just use it to take user inputs. Yeah, that's about that. So let's get back to our slide. Yeah, something like that. So we got this math random function. This function generates uh, um, numbers at random. It generates numbers. For example, here we say let random number equals math dot random. That is between zeros inclusive and one exclusive. That is console dot load then random number. Let's random number what here. I'll just put inside the function, though it will be meaningless, but it will be fine. Var random number. Yeah, like this. I'll just accept. Yeah. So here's how we write a random function. Like here, var random number is equal to math dot flow math random function, or we can just use the simple one like here, the one here, like just like the random function, like here. Yeah, you enter an integer. So like here, random int is equal to math dot flow math dot random. That is asterisk 10. That's times multiplication. Yeah, yeah, multiples of 10 plus 1, something like this. So here in my code, I've just written. Let's just see the output of this. Let's save this and the run the file again. Then when I click uh, this one, you may see hello, welcome to our website. Your lucky number is 21. So it generates a random number. If I click it again, you see it's changing. It's bringing random numbers. When I click it again, you may see I've been given 35. So actually This asterisk plus 100 is just a range. I think it's just a range. It should be maybe in a range of this, like less than 100. That's the range of this random numbers. How random numbers should be like that. So I don't know if there is a question about random number. Is there a question about random function? Random function, a math dot random function. Is there any question? Okay, fine. We are heading down. We are ready to lay. So I'll be just fast. So we got these data types in JavaScript. Thus we got var. Here it's just an order method of declaring. These days we use let actually. You declare a variable with a function scope. It's hosted and can be declared mostly used in order code. This was used previously. Var equals 10, var what. So that was what was used there previously. But in these days, instead of var, we use let. But I'm not saying that you can't use var these days. You can use both of these, var and let. You can choose which one to use. They just do the same tasks. So these days you are using let x equals something like that. So this is what like here let name equals byte builder, something like this. That's how we use let. So const is for constant variables. So use const like pi equals 3.14. This is for constant. So that is the data types data types in what? In JavaScript. We got for declaring variables, data types for declaring variables. We use constant, let, or var. So you know, constant. When we declare a constant variable, it means we cannot reassign the value. That value will remain the same throughout the code. So we got rules for naming variables in JavaScript. Here are the rules. Should be within a letter, that is A up to Z, or A to Z, that is or underscore, or a dollar sign. Actually, for declaring the variable, this is the best way. You start with the, that is the camel case. You start with a small letter, then if you got two words combine, if you have combined two words, for better practices, the second way starts with a capital letter. You can start with an underscore. You can start with a dollar sign. But actually, I'm not recommending this dollar sign because this one is mostly used in PHP. So you learn about this in PHP, the dollar sign. When declaring variables in PHP, we use the dollar sign. But here, I would recommend the first one. You're using small letters, yeah, something like that. So, can contain letters, digits, underscores, and dollar signs. Yeah, you can use all these ones. But I'm recommending for just the letters be fine, but should be meaningful. Cannot contain spaces or hyphens. When writing this, don't write like this total amount. If you want to use an underscore, it's fine. You can use an underscore, but you can't use the hyphens. It will be meaningless. It will flow an error, something like that. Don't use the space like this. Use then a space name. No, this one is not a best practice, and it will flow an error as well. So you cannot use the reserved ways like the function keyword, the let keyword, the return keyword, class keyword. These are keywords in the JavaScript. I think you will learn more about this in next sessions when other tutors comes. So JavaScript is case sensitive. That means If you write this score, and this score, they are all different. So it's a consistent. So know about these things. So here are the best practices. When naming variables, use coming of case for variables and functions, even in functions. You start with a small letter, and the subsequent words you use the capital letters, like here, get user data, something like that. So another best practice is to use descriptive names. You should use descriptive names, not like something like let x equals 10, something like. Of course, for maybe calculations, for simple calculations, it'll be maybe fine about that. But actually, it should be meaningless. Student age, that's a name of a variable. Not for age, then let x equals let x, then x you're using it as a student age. No, it will be meaningless. So for it to be meaningful, you need to use descriptive names. Use of for use uppercases, only uppercases and underscores. You just use this one. So you need to avoid abbreviations unless it's widely understood. Everyone can understand them. You can use them, but if you see that if you want to make your own abbreviations, don't use them, because you confuse other readers or programmers or others that would like to see your code. So it'll be meaningless. Like you are trying to write, since you just use a random abbreviation. So you need to use abbreviations that are constantly that are widely known and mean. So prefixes like booleans with is has or can and stuff like this. You can boolean you can use like this. So here is a table of data types. Number, you use let x is equal for 2, something like this. You let x is equal for 2. String, you just write them. Then you don't write the way the string as we did as you do in other languages like Java and the like. That is a string what or into what, like you specifying the data type. No, here you just write let. Then if it's a string, you just only specify by putting it in parentheses like this one. This parentheses like this ones. You just put you just show this that this is a parentheses. You just use open and inverted commas, something like this. Just use that one. So a boolean, just write like this: let login equals true, something like this, and define it, just let score, and define just to put this this inverted commas like this parentheses like this ones. Then in our variable, just put it like this now. Then big int, you just let big number, something like that, and put the number. No need for specifying the data that we itself. Just the keyword for declaring the variable is just let. Any variable, you just declare it using let. So there are key characteristics of variables, that is immutable, that is primitive values cannot be changed once created. Yeah, so if you create here, compared by value, two primitives are equal, they have the same value and stored directly. That is, unlike objects, primitives are stored directly in memory. Something we are talking here, we're just talking about primitives, data types, something like this. So when you you declare a primitive data variable cannot be changed once created. So that's about that. Then let's see about something about operators in JavaScript. So we got the plus C, that's it, and for addition. An example is that with this one. Then we got subtraction, multiplication, a modulus. See, I hope you know about modulus. It's different from division. On division, you get the answer like the what do you call that one? The value that you get when you divide the number and the other number. So what about the for the modulus, a remainder? You get the remainder. So we got exponential. You can use exponential like this: 2 asterisks 2. That means 3 to the power 2. Then we got assignment operators like equal sign, this one. Then we got the add and the assign. That is, here they use the a different example. I think it was a typo error. I'm not the one who created this document, so maybe it was a just a typo error. So you forgive them. Here's just a matter of I hope maybe if you have done already maybe in HTML CSS, they're just the same. When you declare a variable here like y, then minus equals 7, so it means like you are doing two things. You are saying that the variable of y is equal to that y minus 1. Maybe you declared y is equal to 8. Then when you say y is equal y minus is equal to 7, it means 8 minus 1 equals this y. Like you are declaring this y, something like that. Same as with the plus, the same thing. When you write y plus equals like maybe in the first place you wrote something like y is equal to 7, then the output will be 8. That is, you have added the another one, something like that. Same as this multiplication and the division. So we got comparison operators. I know you know about comparison operators. We got the equal to this one. This is the rule equal to. We got an equal. We got an equal sign, which it's just an assignment operator that x is equal to what, like you assign something. So we got an equal to sign. This one is an equal to. As you already know in other programming languages, this is an equal to sign. While this one is an equal to strict. What is the difference between the two? I'll just write in the editor the difference between the two. Don't mind the what this code above. I just want to differentiate these two. Like you got 3 is equal to 3, something like this. Then you got 3 is equal to maybe something like this, maybe 3, like this, I think. Yeah, something like this. Oh yeah, something like this. So you may see these things, these two things. This 3 is equal to this 3, but this 3 is a string, as you can see. So they're just equal. The number is the same number. This is 3. This is 3, but they're somehow a little bit different because of the data type. That is, we have declared it as a string. Whereas this one is just totally equal. This is 3 and this is 3. No differences. It's just the same thing. So that's how we differentiate an equal to with the 2 equal signs and an equal to with 3 equal signs. That's what we are. That's how we differentiate them. Then we got not equal to, something like that. Yeah, we got a greater than, a less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. I hope you understood all of this. Then we got logical operators. This is an and operator. Then we got this is an or operator. This is an not reverses operand. Like it's the same as the not equal to. Like maybe, but only you're using it here in Boolean variables. Like maybe you have written not true. That means that is false. Not false. That means that's true. Pronunciation is the same as the one here. We are in not equal to. We start with not here. This is just a not. We can say a not operator. So here is not true, not false, which means if it's not true, it means it's false. If it's not false, then it's what is true. That's how we use them. So this is just an example in actions, something like that. These are just the use of operators. We just use the operators, something like that. About the data types and the declaring variables, do you have any questions? Any questions about declaring variables? Any questions about declaring variables? Okay, then it's fine. So actually, we wanted just to discuss this a brief introduction and data types and variables. I'm sorry for maybe mistakes maybe I've done already because of somewhere I was carried away. Yeah. I was not supposed to pick this one, but since I was just assigned it, of course, it's not just area, but it's a bit area. So I've just accepted this since other tutors are not available. So you might forgive about maybe any mistakes I have made throughout this course. So here we got a class exercise like a mini calculator. So I'm about to show you an example about a mini calculator. Like we want to apply what you have learned in JavaScript by doing a mini calculator. So let's see that one. Yeah. So here I think I did that one already. Yeah, something like this. So here is the code. I've already written it for uh, first demonstration, so that I should not take much time to be writing the code, like something like that. So yeah, so you see closely, and I'll be just explaining each line of code until the end. Are you able to see my screen, like in my code? Are you able to see it?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
thanks. Then okay, I'll go through the code. If there are questions, then you ask me after I go through the code. Yeah. So as I've already said, you already know the framework of an HTML. So this code we have written it in an internal JavaScript. Yeah, internal JavaScript. So as you already know the framework of HTML, here is just metadata. This is I hope maybe you are taught about this. So this is the title of this web page. That is the simple calculator, as it has already written in the document. So here, as I've already said, that we write a JavaScript code internally in HTML using script tag. So here are script tag. The closing tag is here. This is the closing tag, and here it's opening tag of the script. So as I've already said, when declaring a variable in JavaScript, we use the let keyword, a let or a var, but rather I will recommend a let because this is the modern one, yeah. So we should forget about the other ways like var, something like that. But you can use them. I'm not saying you can't use them, but in this example, we have used let since this is the modern way of using of declaring variables in JavaScript. So I've declared these variables. We got now num1 simply for number one, and num2 simply for number 2. Then operator, that's for which for doing an operations, for choosing an operator, that's for doing an operation. Yeah. So then we got the result. This is the one who be the result will be getting after doing operations. So here on number one, what the value you have given this number one, it's the we are prompting the user to enter a number. So as you can see here, you can see a pass float, a pass float. So we are trying to tell the browser or the interpreter to convert what the user has entered to float. I hope you know float maybe from other programming languages. We got integer and float. Float that includes decimals. Float includes decimals, whilst integers is just the whole number. So here a float simply just to say that what the user has entered, that is you're allowing the user even to enter float values, that is in points. So here, yeah, when you are trying to get numbers from user, instead of just using prompt instead of just prompting the user, remember we have seen how to use a prompt function. We just like if you wanted just to prompt the user, we could have just written prompt. We could have just started here prompt, then here we could have just started here prompt, then enter second number, such things like this. We could have stopped here, but since we want an integer to perform calculations, we can't calculate. We can't do calculations using strings. We can't calculate strings like adding strings. We can't add strings. Of course, concatenating strings, that one can happen. You learn about this as you go along, how to concatenate strings. Like you want to add a name to a surname to a name, something like that. I hope maybe you learn about that. You learn about that as you go along. So you can concatenate in that way, but like to add, to get a value, you can't do that. You can't do an operation like multiplication of strings. You can't do that. So to ease that burden, or to make things happen, like to enable calculations to take place. That's why we are passing the float. Like we are taking that the value the user will, the value that the user will enter, we are converting it to float. This pass float just simply converting what the user has entered into a number, something like that. Same as to number 2, we are just doing the same thing. We are prompting the user to enter a second number, of which the number will be converted to a float value or a number. So here, let operator, we are prompting the user again to enter an operator. So what the placeholder the user will see, will be seeing this one. Choose an operator, that is plus C minus C asterisk, that is multiplication and division. Mind you, it's a simple calculator. We're not doing more on this, things like this. So here we got a result variable, which will take num1 and number2 to do the calculations. So here is a conditional statement. I hope maybe you read about conditional sentences. I don't know whether you learn them in HTML or maybe other programming languages here. So it's a matter of an if statement. Yeah, an if statement. So we are saying if an operator is equal to, you can see if this equal to is the one I was saying, that is if exactly this one plus this plus sign, then what should happen? This result variable, we are assigning it to be number 1 plus number 2, like the first value plus the second value. If the operator is equal to plus, if exactly the operator is what is plus, then the result will be this. Else, if the operator is equal to minus, then you do the same things. So it's just the same way, just changing the operators. This is the same syntax. You are just I hope you know the if statement. You just put this else if, like showing that if this one is not this one, then what should happen is the next one. If this is not the next one, then the next one. Then if only here we have a nested if statement. We are saying else if operator is equal to this one forward slash, that is for division, then if number 2 is not equal to 0, what I trying to say?
Your screen is not showing.
Hello?
Your screen was not
I should
showing.
do what? Or maybe there was an error. Can you see it?
Yes, it's showing now.
Oh, sorry. Maybe you had maybe I had or you had an internet problems. I'm sorry about that. But I'll just quickly go through what I was explaining. I was saying we have declared here 4 variables. That is number 1, number 2, operator, and result. On number 1, we are telling the user to enter something. That is the prompt function. But we want that something to be in a float value. That is to be a number. That's why instead of just starting with the prompt, we are starting with pass float. That means that float, we are passing it to be that the value the user has entered, we are converting it to float, or the browser will try to understand it as a number. So if it's a string, then you will throw an error. But if it's a number, then it will be easily converted to float. It will be an easy number. Even you can use decimal, something like that. It will still happen. Same as to number 2. We are just doing the same thing. Only operator, we are still we are also telling the user to enter an operator, that is plus, minus, or times, or division, that is the multiplication. I mean, yeah, on asterisk multiplication. So here we have declared a result. We have not assigned it any value. We are assigning it inside this if statement, this condition. So I was saying here we got an if statement whereby we are saying if an operator is equal to, this equal to, I say, is a strict equal to, whereby the value should be exactly the same. So if the user has exactly inserted this plus sign, so we are assigning this result to be number 1 plus number 2. Same as to minus and the multiplication, same thing. If the user has entered a minus sign, then the result we are assigning it to a subtraction. Same as on this asterisk, the user has entered this asterisk, it means the result will be a multiplication of number 1 and number 2. Here on division, on forward slash, if the user has entered a forward slash, we are nesting another if statement inside this this statement. If statement, we are saying that if the user has entered this forward slash for division, then we should check another condition. If it's not equal to 0, the second number, then the result is division. But if the user has entered a 0, it means we should prompt the user that we cannot divide by 0. It throw an error. That is we can't divide using 0. Though it will pass to float, but on division, then it will be a misbehavior. We are not we are following standards. We can't divide by 0, so it's an error. It will throw an error. We can't divide by 0. So else the result is equal to one invalid operator. If the user has not entered any of these operators, these 4 operators, since it's a basic calculator, we are using 4 operators. So if the user has entered something else, maybe accidentally, you should tell the user that you have entered and what invalid operator. So then at the end, it should just alert the user about results. That is the result. It's what we are putting this. I don't know what you call them. Open and inverted comma, or I don't know here if these are the parentheses or the parentheses. That's this brackets. I don't know, but we have put this one to like a space. Like we want to have a space after the word result. So we are adding this. This is a concatenator. We are concatenating this with the result. Result, that's this variable. So we want to print this result. So I'll go where this file is and learn that that file. Here is an example. So you have seen this alert. It is telling enter the first number. So if I enter like 4, then I will hit enter. Then you tell me to enter second number. I'm entering 3. Then I click enter. Then is choose an operator. I should choose an operator. Then I'm putting a plus sign. I'm hit enter. You can see it has an alert has come. Result is 7. Something like that. Can you see clearly? Oh. I hope my screen accidentally stopped the sharing. Can you see it right now? Hello? Yeah, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
my screen,
yeah.
I think accidentally stopped showing. I'm sorry. But here is the code. So I was trying to learn the code. Here, I went to the file and I learned it here like this. So it's prompting me to enter what? to enter a variable, enter a number. So I've entered 4, then I hit enter, then I'm writing 3, I hit enter, then I'm choosing an operator as a plus, then I hit enter as well. So it's showing me the result. It has done the calculations, something like that. Have you seen that one? Hello? Okay, thanks. So let's try. Let me refresh it. Let's try to put a string like let me try to put like maybe variable like here. Let me just write this variable and hit enter. Then type another variable t like what clear here. Then I hit enter. Then I choose a plus sign and hit enter. You see, result is NaN. That means it has failed to operate since the browser has failed to convert that clear variable to float, something like that. You see, so something like that. So let's try as well to try dividing by 0. Let me refresh. Then I type the first number as 23, then enter, then type 0 for the second number, then hit enter, then forward slash, then I hit enter. You see, error, cannot divide by 0. That's uh, uh, about that. I hope you have clearly seen about that. Hello? Uh, have you seen what I've actually done now? Have you seen the example? Yeah, so that's actually a basic calculator that we were assigned to do as a class exercise. So when this document will be sent to you, you will see there is an this exercise that you do it on your own. That is the Mean Life Advisor. Mean Life Advisor. This is the project that you do. So instructions, what would that mean if advisor is wanted? Like what is wanted for that project? One, ask the user for input. That is, use the prompt function to collect the following. You have to use the prompt function to collect name, age, hours of sleep like last night, then favorite activity. These things. You should prompt the user to enter all those things. So you should store each response in a variable using the assignment operator. You use this assignment operator of this. If it's a name, it's a string. If it's an age, then it should be a number. Just a hint on this. You have seen how we are doing it as a number. So you can here you can pass int. You can use int or float. Float we only wanted to allow decimals here. So you can pass int if you want to use to just the whole number. So like age is not in decimals unless otherwise. But you can use here you can write pass int, just a hint to your assignment. You use pass int. Make sure int should be I should be a capital letter. Like here F is a capital letter. Do the same with int. I'm just sharing you that hint. Yeah, but you could have said that for your own, but I've just given you that hint so that you smoothly do the project. Then calculate a fun fact. That is instruction number 2. You use arithmetic to calculate how many years until the user turns 100. That's why they have put a fun fact. So you just use this arithmetic. Then you give advice using this condition: if, else if, like we have used in that you have used in our example. That is, if the sleep is less than 6, and the age is greater than 18, then you need more list. Then it means your project should be as here you have prompted the user to enter name. So here the name should be displayed if this condition is met. Then here if the sweep is greater than or equal to 60 or age is less than 18, then nice, you are taking care of yourself, like you are stripping good hours. If your favorite activity is coding, then awesome, the name of that of that individual, the name that the individual has entered, then you say you are on your way to become a developer. That's the thing. So that's the assignment. Otherwise, it sounds fun name or keep it doing what you love. Then you will be, yeah, something like that. Then use alert to show each message. These messages should be shown in the browser. That's all for today. I just want to take the screenshots of attenders so that I can send it to the where it is wanted. Yeah, that's all for today. I don't know if there are questions or comments. I've apologized already for any mistakes that I've made, because you know what is I've used a document written by someone else, so it's very difficult to use someone else's materials. It's very difficult, so you forgive me about that. But no, all in all, you have to take this key takeaways that we have learned. JavaScript, that is a scripting languages that is used to manipulate something like HTML and the CSS. Then we have read about data types, whereby we don't explicitly say that this is a string. We just show if it's a string, we just put it in inverted commas. If it's a number or an integer, we just put the integer. If it's something else, then something like that. So that's what about the declaring data types and variables. So we have learned about three, if not four, four functions. We have learned the prompt functions that is used to take user inputs. We have learned a math.random function that is to take to generate random numbers. Yeah, I think especially you've done that like that. Then you have learned how to declare a function. We declare a function, or we define a function using a function keyword. Then I think that's some key takeaways that you can take, like what you have learned today. Thank you for being there. I think this should be the end of the class. If unless there is anything.